I know I'm going to piss several people off by saying this, but all you guys,
You people,
ladies and gentlemen, if you start doing videos, and I know there's a couple of yous out there, why I've been saying this for years. Why don't you do a Plex? No, you moron, because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're going to teach people to find this information out there somewhere. And even for F's sakes, let's just say I'm using my own library and I'm going to put it in my own storage and I'm going to put it in my own MB or Plex or whatever. You're going to share it with somebody. The second you share it with somebody, that's it. Illegal. Instantly. A lot of these rules say you cannot share. There's reproduction of this stuff is called sharing. The only way you can get away with it, literally, is if you say, here is my DVD, take it, you could borrow it, or you could have it. You're exchanging something saying, here, go ahead and take it. That's the only way. That is the only way.
Well, and then there's on that part there, there's I'm going to jump back for 1 second. Is with the YouTube, what is happening, or what has been happening for a long time, is they have it's called the Trusted Flagger program. And the Trusted Flagger program is for non-government agencies, whatever. So basically, if you can be approved, you can sign up. You are basically a scavenger rat. You're going around, and that's where I think some people who are getting away with content that if even myself with only 3,000 subscribers was to put it up there, I'd get a strike. But someone who has 60,000 subscribers has 100 to 200 videos on it and gets nothing. Okay, well, to me, my mind, you're a flagger. So that's why they're kind of letting you, and prove me wrong. And it's not a challenge. Anybody who's watching this, not a challenge to prove me wrong, because I'm not pointing the finger to anybody specific, but that's the mentality. And the reason I mention that is because some people are not educated enough within our community to know the difference or what can be on YouTube and what not. And that's why, jumping back to now what you were saying, is like people are not educated enough, or they think they are, and then they open their mouth, as in, example, directly, this Plex. I just saw a video the other day that talked about a person was talking about how they purchased something and they actually got a bunch of DVDs or Blu-rays or things like that. Okay, so you have a physical copy. You have a physical copy that they said, and I made copies of it. Now, okay, you put it on for your enjoyment. You can do that. Legally, you can make a copy, but you cannot share it because that breaks distribution copyright laws. They never mentioned about, I added it to my Plex so, people can watch it or things like that. They never said that. But when you're saying things like that, that sparks something in the person who's trying to get that niche, to try to get that gimmick. Oh, geez, well, if I did something like that and I got like a new device and I got this and I got a whole bunch of movies, but I could add that to my Plex, and I charge $5 and whatever, I make money off of it. But because you didn't clearly say this was for my personal use, I do not recommend, and I do not condone you doing it that way. You can be held accountable for teaching somebody how to circumvent copyright.
That right there.
And don't ever think just because you put it in the description of your video, it doesn't save your ass. Okay, it's just.
But Jug, here's a question for you, right? Like, in all reality, realistic, whatever the hell you want to call it, if they were okay with us even reproducing it for our own use, then why have all those copyright protections on those discs? Because it's not as simple as copying and pasting from the disk to your drive.
Yeah.
It's not.
I know.
You literally have to crack, I'm just using a general term, a DVD or a Blu-ray and take off copyright protection. If it was okay to have it as a backup copy or a digital copy or reproduce it into some kind of medium like another disc or something, they wouldn't really have that protection on there. Well,
I think it's because in order for them to have that protection, if they didn't have that, and said, okay, well, we make it easier or we make it accessible that you can make a backup copy, but please don't share it. Just don't. Copyright, putting it on there, it might be part of that copyright wording or legalese there that it has to be on there and make it difficult to do that. Because it is like in copyright law, it does say that you can have a copy if you own it. But it's under the onus. Like you can't just say, hey, here's my DVD, I own it. Okay, where's your receipt? Where'd you buy it from? I got it from nxtlvl. Then you don't own it, he does. And you just ratted him out. Thanks for dry snitching.
Yeah. I've seen people with backups, like not the actual real ones. And they're like, I own this, so it's okay for me to make copies. I'm like, no.
That's redistribution.
Yeah, exactly.
Redistribution.
That's where because they may, I feel that they don't, and they being the legal department, no matter what it is, whether it be Ace or anybody else or whoever is trying to go after, whoever makes it their career, and it is their job to catch those who are doing copyright infringement, don't bust people enough that they will just cast such a wide net just to catch whatever they can. Example is the 4 people selling Fire Sticks.
Now, the last thing I will say on the subject, and this is for all you content creators, and I'm sorry if I pissed any of you guys off, but I guess you could say I'm kind of looking out for you, and if you don't want to listen, and if you want to make your own excuses to say this is still good, whatever, you're on your own will. This is your own thing. When you teach somebody, and I use this analogy on one of the live shows, if you are telling the horse, here is the water, that's it, you're in trouble. If you're telling the horse, this is how to find the water, that's it, you're in trouble. If you tell the horse, hey, over there, that way, you're not really telling them, but you're kind of like, if you go over here, and no, there's zero. You literally, you cannot say, hey, this is what I like what Jugs just said. This is what I got off of my Plex. This is what I was able to find here. This is what I found over there. Nothing. You can't even say like, hey, in my Plex, I have this, because you're already stating that, hey, if anybody wants my Plex, just hit me up. No, nothing like that. Unless you're on phone calls and you know these people and you're just like, hey, yeah, you want my Plex? Here you go. Even if even that could get you in trouble. If your phone was tapped, guess what? You just admitted what you're doing. Don't think about it. Don't talk about it. Don't do anything with it. Just be careful. Or like how Trooper says, wash that ass.
Well, and keep in mind, everybody, that no matter whatever the illegal event is, not just talking about community, whatever it is, every law and every arrest is made to catch the bigger fish. So if you are not the person who is the big fish in our, like it's saying, the community of streaming or providing services, then when they get you, that's when they'll try to get you to help get the big fish. That's what it is. And they have laws exactly for that. If somebody comes up to you in Canada and says, hey, can I buy a joint? Dude, I don't deal drugs. But Bill over there, it's an automatic 18 months. 18 months because you pointed.
Wow.
So the same thing happens with copyright. It is the same thing. Hey, look, there's water. Do you know how to get water? No, I don't know how to get water. Search on YouTube. This is who you look up. Bing. But yes. Sorry, I snuck in a word there. Sorry.
No matter what you learn on YouTube, moral of the story, do your research.
Yep.
Right? Because not everything you hear is going to keep you safe. It's better to be, safe than sorry. So if you hear something and it sounds too good to be true, or you're like, maybe whatever, always question everything and do your research.